What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 23 of the Lipstick Nerds podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Powell, and joining me alongside, oh my god, my words, alongside me today, or joining me today, if I can speak correctly, as per usual, Amanda Kane.
Hi, guys.
And Miranda Sanchez.
Hello!
We're back, all three of us.
Yay!
Under the same computer screen.
This is like a reunion, but not quite, because we're missing somebody.
Every time all three of us get together, it's like a little mini reunion, but we'll never have a real one without some missing member.
She needs to come back.
No. Tweet at Sam. What are the numbers on the end of her Twitter? There's so random numbers on the end.
I'm going to look this up right now, so now you guys can go harass her about coming back on the show. If you don't know, there's this other member of Lipstick Nerds, long time ago.
Long time ago. Galaxy far, far away.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's at Sam 3214, and that again is at Sam 3214. Tell her to, hey, you should get back on Lipstick Nerds.
At least like for one, you know.
Special episode, reunion episode. Even though we haven't been recording that long, I think.
If everyone mass tweets her, maybe she won't ignore it.
Hopefully. All right, today we are going to talk about high school and what it was like, what clubs we were in, fads in high school, homecoming, dances, cliques, no cliques,
so
all that good stuff.
I'm really excited for this because I grew up in Texas, and I think our experiences in high school are going to be like vastly different.
I'm hoping.
You're in California,
yeah,
and Amanda's over there on the East Coast, so we got East, West, and the middle. Yay!
three regions. We're missing one. That's
oh.
So.
But yeah, whatever.
So I have a list. I have a list of what we can cover today. Let me get my list. Okay. So I thought I can't speak. I thought we would start out with what your favorite classes were in high school.
Oh, that's really difficult because some decent classes. I mean, high school is kind of crappy if you think about it.
Pretty much.
It's just drama. People like growing up. It's like so much. But favorite classes, I think at least for me, almost always was like English and history, like in general. Also, I was in band, so I really enjoyed that. And yearbook, because I want to be a journalist. So I took like yearbook / pre-journalism, whatever it was called. But yeah, anything that had to do with writing, I was pretty fond of it.
See, I didn't like writing. I was like, my hand cramps up. I don't like writing. It bothers me. My handwriting's horrible. It's just not fun for me.
You would have hated my AP World History class because in that class, so you're preparing to take the AP History test, the World History test specifically, obviously, and we'd start, I think, every week, every class. Like, I guess it was every class because you didn't go to that class every day. But when you went, we'd start with a 7-minute essay. So you had 7 minutes to read over a prompt and write an essay. It was fast.
I think I remember that, actually.
Yeah, I think it was 7 minutes or something. It was some, like, absurd amount of time.
Yeah.
By amount, I mean, like, nothing. So you had to write super fast. And I remember I actually did pretty well in those. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I like writing, so it was kind of fun challenge.
Yeah, I didn't really like my actual classes. I mostly strayed towards, like, I like my sewing class a lot.
That's
my teacher
really
loved me.
Cool.
Yeah, and I was actually really good at it. So she kind of just like, you had to make, your first year you had to make one garment per semester. So you had to make 4 things all semester. And I think my first year I ended up with 8 pieces because I just sewed really quick. Yeah, I don't know. I could read the patterns really easy and I was really good at it. I don't know. And then my second year you had to make something with 2 pieces to it. So basically like a dress with a lining or a jacket with a lining, something with like a lining, and they gave you 2 semesters to do it because technically it was 2 garments, and then for the 2 semesters after you had to do 2 garments for each semester, and I picked my prom dress, which prom wasn't until the end of the year, so I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I've got the top and the bottom and the inside and the outside, so I've got like 4 at least different things that I can make technically. And I finished it in 6 weeks, and I'm like, well, now what do I do for the rest of the semester? It was really expensive to buy all that fabric, and I kind of didn't expect to like finish it so quick. And I think I ended that year with like 12 or 13 garments.
Holy moly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I made a lot of stuff. I got really bored, and I just kept like buying fabric. If I found a pattern I liked, I kept buying fabric and just making that same pattern again and again in different materials. So that was fun. She kind of just gave me an A and was just like, make whatever you want. I don't care.
It's so cool. Geez, I wish I had a cool class like that. I mean, I had like ag, whatever. Learning about cows. I like that.
We had ag, and there was a lot of people that took ag, but they did like ag and 4-H, and they would go to shows and like show their rabbits and their chickens and their pigs and all that.
There were like clubs for that. Like you could get a goat or something. I always wanted one, but I could never take care of one because I had marching band. But I think the coolest class I took was, or the coolest, I mean by like not average class I took was probably ag. I don't know. I was always busy for my extracurricular activities or like extra classes with any other writing class, like usually just like a journalism class or yearbook, and then band. And those always took up my spots, and I could never do anything else. So, oh, and my like foreign language that you had to have and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, Amanda, did you take any cool classes?
I didn't. I went to Catholic school, so yeah,
so different than us.
Yeah, I'm just like, what is ag? What is sewing? Like they never taught us. Obviously I know what sewing is, but they never taught us anything practical.
Our high school, the ag class we had there, they basically like made a whole garden, and like it was ridiculous. Like the entire half of the hill that we had for school was just a huge garden and all these vineyards and stuff that the ag class would take care of every year.
Yeah. That's like way better than mine.
Yeah. No, well, we're like way out in the country, so it's like we have a lot of stuff to be able to do around here.
I mean,
especially
we live pretty far out in the country too. We're like, I don't know, where my high school was. Like it's kind of getting built up now. But or is built up now, but like I think that about 5 years before I started going to that high school, there was like a cow born across the street or something. So I mean, it's kind of not a super big area, but our class is just kind of lame. Like maybe we just didn't have cool funding or anything.
No, we had sewing, we had agriculture, we had wood shop, we had welding. We had a bunch of stuff. Like G made some batarangs in welding one year. He made a bunch of them, and like one of them he welded onto a belt buckle, and yeah, so it was like the Batman Begins symbol with the straight top on it. That was pretty sweet. And then my cousin made my grandma this really, really beautiful like red and like caramely brown colored cutting board when he first started. So, yeah, we got some really cool stuff. And I also did photography too. My first year in photography, we had the black and white like cameras with the film that you had to take out, the film and develop it and do all that stuff. And then by the time my second year rolled around, we had moved on to digital, and that really sucked because I was kind of disappointed in how it was a lot less creative, and it was a lot more take a picture, use Photoshop, not take a picture and develop it, and be artsy with your picture. It was more like be artsy with your Photoshop and your computer skills, and it was kind of like, well, this is... any dumbass could do this stuff. So, I mean, not like amazing photography with it, because there's some people that can do like ridiculous stuff, but they're like, change your picture from color to black and white, or change the color gradient, and I'm like, well, this is boring.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I think our photography class had a similar thing where we actually had the light room. I don't remember what it's called. Light room?
Dark room?
I don't know. Dark room. Photo room.
Yeah, no, I mean, dark room.
I honestly did you go into a room, or did you use a computer program?
A friggin' like time warp tunnel where you step into the little black thing and it spins around and you can come out into the room where you actually are supposed to be.
Yeah, obviously, because I'm thinking of like Lightbox, like the Adobe Lightbox thing. It's a program, photo editing program. I was like, doesn't it have to do something with that?
Lightroom?
No, dark room. No. No, but it was also a dark room, and we used it for like haunted houses. But Yeah.
Okay,
all ours got.
Not me at all, but the bad kids in the class, like the mean boys and stuff, would trap all the girls in the turning door. They'd like stick cardboard in the turning part, and so they'd get stuck in this itty bitty little tube in the dark, and it was really fucked up.
Jeez, that's awful.
Yeah, boys in high school are mean.
So Nikki, you just went to a cool school. I went to a school that's kind of like sounds like kind of normal. Like you have some pretty cool extracurricular activities. But Amanda, like what?
So Amanda, what did you even have at Catholic school?
Like what other non-core classes did you guys have?
She's like, none.
I can't even think. Well, I mean, you guys took all the cool stuff. Like So for my foreign language, I took Latin.
Nice.
So that's cool. Like we didn't have Latin, we just had Spanish, German, and French. Like
we had Spanish and French. See, we lacked in some areas.
Okay, yeah.
But and I'd have to say that was probably my favorite class because we used to my teacher was pretty much like straight from Italy, so she didn't really understand a whole lot. Like she didn't really know how to use technology. And now that I think about it, we used a VCR. And anyway, so she would play movies for us sometimes, like Hercules, the Disney movie, and a couple other ones. 1 week, we spent the entire week watching Hercules, the Disney movie.
Nice.
Because now, mind you, this is like a 40-minute class period every day of the week. We spent the entire week. So she would leave the room, and we would rewind the movie. And she'd come back in. And she'd come back in and be like, didn't we see this part? We'd be like, no, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on.
That's awful. How would she not catch on?
I think by Friday she was like, all right, I think we've seen this enough. Like, I think you understand what's going on.
That's so messed up.
So,
6 hours later to get through an hour and a half Disney
for an hour and a half.
She finally realized it.
Jeez.
But I love mythology, so that was one of my favorite things about the class was just being able to learn about Roman and Greek mythology. And then, I mean, I really didn't have the first year that I went there. So I was in the same school from 7th grade to 12th grade because it's the Catholic school. And the first year that I went there, we had a sewing class, and we had something else. I guess it was just a general home ec class, and they actually canceled it before I could even get, like, they canceled it after the first semester. So the stuff that's practical, that was one thing that I hated about high school, for me anyways. Like, I never learned anything practical. So aside from Latin, probably my favorite classes were English, because I love to read, and then history, and we had different versions of art class. So we didn't have any photography, but we had ceramics and Photoshop. And so every semester we would have different options for that. So I would try and get into all of those. So I was just an artsy-fartsy kid.
Yeah. We had a lot of artsy classes. We had a whole bunch of different levels of like drawing for like all 4 years, and you could be in like different drawing classes and painting classes. And then we had ceramics, and we also had jewelry. And they had like freaking blowtorches and jewelry where you had to pay for your supplies, and you could buy little opals and little like gemstones and stuff like that, and like make your own rings and pendants and all this really cool stuff. And we learned how to braid hemp in the very beginning because, I mean, we're from Mendocino County, so why not? So we were like braiding hemp, and you could make your own pendants, like with the metal and stuff and the little jewels you could buy, and then you could weave them into your own little hemp like necklace or something. It was really pretty awesome.
That's so cool. I think we only had like 3 levels or so of art, like standard art. Or maybe we had like basic and then like advanced art. And I think we had like a painting class or something. We had something else, but I don't quite remember. I just know that I always wanted to do an art class, and I never could because of band and yearbook. So
yeah.
Miranda, what instrument did you play?
I play clarinet.
So did I.
Me too. But I did that in 5th grade.
That's fine. We're all meant to be.
Right? I played it in 4th and 5th grade, and then when I moved from wherever school I was then to junior high where I am now, like, I kind of just gave it up. I was over it.
Aw.
So,
Yeah, I
do
played.
you guys still know how to play, or?
Yeah, I played in college. I mean, I played till like my sophomore year in college. So.
I
Yeah,
think I could
miss
play if I picked it up again.
I don't think I could. I think I could make noise. Like,
That too.
I played piano for like a good year and a half or something like that too, and I still know where the keys are, kind of. And we have a piano at my work, and on one of my breaks, I ran down to the dining room, and there were some residents in the dining room, and they were like, "Hey, do you know how to play?" And I'm like, "Actually, I was just looking at the books to see if any of them were numbered or lettered to." Numbered, that's dumb. Were lettered to where all the keys are to see if I could play it, and one of them was like super easy. I think it was like row, row, row your boat or something, and I played it. And I'm like, oh, I still got it. But again, I played that like a long time ago in like 6th grade. So
Yeah, I always wanted to learn piano, and my parents even had a piano when I was really young, in one of our old houses. And then I flat out refused lessons because I was a stupid child.
yeah, when you're a stupid child, you refuse to do all the good stuff. I gave up on clarinet. I gave up on gymnastics. I gave up on swim team. I gave up on piano. God, I gave up on everything.
Yeah.
I even, we'll get to it a little later, but I gave up on the wrestling team my senior year. So,
Yeah, you talked about that a little bit, how you were in wrestling.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
we dabbled. I mean, I guess we can go into like groups too, like teams that you're on in high school. It's kind of like extracurricular classes. So my freshman year in high school, one of my girlfriends, her dad was on the wrestling team, I guess, like all throughout his junior high and high school career. And she wanted to try out, and she was embarrassed to go by herself because wrestling's a boy sport. Well, quotations, boys sport, whatever. And she was like super embarrassed, so she was like, "Hey, go with me." Okay, no problem. And we went in. She lasted 2 weeks, and I lasted 3 years. So I just really liked it. Yeah. So for people that are listening that know weight classes and everything, I was in the 103-pound weight class for the boys, and I was in the 105 weight pound class for the girls. I got 9th place in Girls State California in 2006. No, 2005. It wasn't like official sanctioned state. The next year is when they did state champions. But in a 25-person tournament I did in my weight class, I got 9th place, which was pretty badass. Yeah. And I loved it. It was the greatest thing I've ever done was wrestling. I did wrestling camps. I had posters. I watched it in the Olympics. Like, I would record the Olympics at night and then watch it in the daytime. Yeah. So that was cool. That was my big high school thing, was I was on one of the girls on the wrestling team. So.
Aww.
Did you guys do sports?
No. Well,
no.
I mean, the most athletic thing I did was band, but that was actually... Or marching band was actually pretty athletic.
I was about to say, was it marching band?
Yeah.
Then you're like, marching band, yeah.
Yeah, it was hard. Like, some areas it's kind of not very serious. Like, it's just kind of like a fun, it's like a fun halftime show. But, like, in the South and in, like, Texas and Oklahoma areas, it's, like, serious shit. Yeah. because I mean, there are some areas, like, throughout the country as well, where it's pretty big. It's because, like, football is such a big deal. So, like, the entire, like, show, like, the entire high school.
It's not just football.
High school
it's
football.
The pregame, it's the football, it's the halftime show, the cheerleaders, like the whole thing is.
Yeah, like the cheerleaders are a big part, but even bigger than them is like our drill team. So like you'll have like girls on the dance team or drill team, whatever you want to call it. Kind of similar, but not necessarily the same. Go out and they do like their performance. Like our high school drill team was like one of the like top 5 in the state. Like they were super serious. They were like crazy awesome productions, and so sometimes we perform with them too, so it's kind of cool. But our high school, of course, like I said, was like super into marching band and stuff, and we went to state you go to state every other year, and then you go to a different competition that's more, it's a little bit different. Like state's like a technical competition, whereas your other competition's called like BOA, like Bands of America, which is like an off competition like every other year. It's more like a form in art, like creative competition. So like if your things are like really cool and themed well, then you'll probably win that one, or you could have a better chance of like winning or getting further on. So the 2 years that we went to state, or we had a chance for state, we made it, which was like the first time our school had in like 10 years. So it was pretty cool. Went for like both times in a row. And state is so fun and actually, like I said, like weirdly serious, because there's some schools in Texas, because obviously like a huge state, that are like crazy good. It's like, what the heck? Like you go to the school just for marching band just because it's so good. Like the instructors are really good, and people who do like all the choreography and all the write the drills and get the music are like so good. It's like whoa. And then I think the cool thing though was that it was pretty athletic, because you're moving around really fast in like organized movements, and you usually can't breathe unless you're on drumline because you're playing an instrument. So it's a lot of work. I think the coolest thing, like I said though, was that we were outdoors like all summer. Like we had like 3 days. So for for about 2 months, like you have like 2.5 months off for like summer, something like that. And for about a month and a half or so is all marching band. So it's like you get a partial summer and the rest will just go to band. And so then you're like running around outside all day, and I got like crazy tans because it's like you have your shorts and your t-shirts on and you have your shoes. So like my feet were like always like so pale. It was really weird.
I always did I did wrestling from November to March, and then I had April, May, June off, and then July for like 2 weeks or whatever I'd go to wrestling camp, and I always went to one in Reno. So it's like 115, 120 degrees in flippin' Reno in the middle of the summer in July, and we'd spend the whole time outside like running miles in the heat, and so I'd always have an ankle tan and like the gym shorts tan all the time. It's really ugly. So.
Yeah, so you know the pain. It's the
ugly tan lines of sports.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously our season went from kind of mid to early summer all the way till the end of football season, which is like end of winter kind of. So it's like a good chunk of time when I was active, and that's probably one of the things I'm really happy about, that I was in high school. I actually did things that were, you know, decent for my body. Like my leg muscles are still kind of decent. Like I work out now, but they're still decent.
I always think that I'm fat nowadays, and back in the day, like in high school, I was like, oh, I was so fat in high school, and then I look at my pictures and I'm like, oh my god, I was so skinny. Can I like go back? Can I just have somebody to work me out every day? I was working out 5 days a week for 2.5 hours a day, like in a sweaty, disgusting room, and then tournaments on Saturdays, and I'd only have Sunday to sleep, and you know, like it was at least 6 hours a day, or 6 hours, 2 days a. God, oh my god, my brain. 6 days a week, 2 hours a day of just straight, like, hardcore working out, and I loved it, and I was in such good shape, and if I could go back, I would not take it for granted at all.
Yeah. I'm really happy I had the experience that I did. The only thing that sucks is that I never worked out my arms, so my arms are, like, baby strength.
holding that clarinet up the whole time didn't work out.
It's just easy. I mean, yeah, like you had to have it. Like I have an amazing posture, because whenever you play an instrument, you have to sit a certain way to play it correctly. So that's good at least. But yeah,
it's funny. I have exactly the opposite. I have a horrible posture because the whole time you're bending over and crunched down and slouchy.
Cool. Amanda, did you do any like sports or physical activity?
No. I did drama crew, so I did all of the painting of sets and all the lifting and changing of scenes and all that stuff. And one year we were doing Charlie Brown, and it was the first year I'd ever done that. So I'm on drama crew, and I'm carrying out a tree, the Charlie Brown tree, and the lights go on, and I get stuck behind this tree for like an entire scene. I'm just like squatting down like this, hiding behind the tree. And then one of the opening shows, the first night I was ever on crew, the stage manager looks at me and goes, "I need you to run lights," and I'm like, "I'm literally here for the first time. I have no idea what's going on, and you want me to run lights." I turned off the entire power, like, of the whole school.
Oh no!
How did you do that?
I don't even know. Like, I turned off everything on the switchboard, and apparently it was literally everything because it wasn't a good time. Yeah, she came like running through the back of the stage and was like, "Oh my God, you turned off everything." But after that, I figured it out, and it was a lot of fun. So I guess that was like my physical activity, was lifting all that stuff.
So your school didn't make you take like any physical exercise class? Like ours made us take PE or something, but because I was in marching band, I got credit for that.
No fair.
Yeah, what? I had to take gym. I mean, I had to take PE.
Yeah.
I still had to take gym. We had to take it for 2 years unless you passed the physical test at the end of year 1. If you passed the physical test, you could either opt into working out more or working out less. And usually the people that passed the test wanted to work out more, so it didn't really work out like in anyone else's favor.
Yeah, no, we had to take gym, but that was just like, for us, gym was always stupid. I don't know.
Oh, no, gym is always stupid.
Okay, it's just in general, it's always stupid. Because, like, we didn't get a workout room until my senior year of high school. So, senior year, we were allowed to either go to PE and do whatever everyone was doing, or go to the workout room and work out, which I never did. I just went to gym and did whatever everyone was doing. But, yeah, that was the only thing that they made us take. Like, we didn't have to sign up for, as long as we were doing something, it didn't matter what. So,
that's kind of.
Oops, sorry.
No, yeah. That makes sense. Like, yeah, that's why we had to take, or that's why we got the option for marching band, because it was like a summer thing, and you're like constantly doing stuff after school and working out beforehand, and like getting there at like 6 in the morning. Yeah. I guess so. No, I mean, the band kit thing. No, there's like plenty of trouble in that, and drama.
Lots of drama.
Yeah, that's dumb.
See, we only had to take PE for 2 years unless you opted out with the passing of the test. But your second year, you could choose to kind of do whatever you wanted. Like each semester, they'd switch around between like I think it was like swimming, weight room, track and field, and like indoor court sports or something like that. I don't know. And you could pick which one, but you had to pick a different one. And the beginning, everyone would just go straight towards the weight room because it was like hecka easy. Either that or like swimming pool, because you could just like you did a few laps and you got to free swim for 45 minutes. And I was really lucky. I had PE at the last part of the day. My last class was PE, and so everyone who came in the morning or in the afternoon that had to go in the pool like had to get in, get all messy. Like you get ready to go to school and then you have to get in the pool and get wet and then you have to get out and do the rest of your classes like that. So it was like, okay, I get to spend the whole day at school. It's super hot out. It's the very, very end of the year. And I got to jump in the pool, cool off, and then go home. It was really awesome. And then the weight room was really nice because it was really lazy. But our teachers didn't really care. Like if you went to the other classes, like the indoor sports, you kind of just stood around. Like I went to a whole semester of PE in flip-flops because I was too lazy to dress down for volleyball. So, but then like if you were done for your sophomore or your junior and senior year, they actually had extra like classes that you could take. You could take a BFS, which was like bigger, faster, stronger, and they did conditioning and weights the whole time. Is that Ari purring? I can hear her.
Yeah. Oops. loud little purr. So cute. Yeah, she likes working out, I guess. That's cool you get to do swimming, though. I think ours is pretty straightforward. Like, we're going to do this activity today or whatever. You're going to play this sport.
No, ours was like, all right, well, if you can swim across the pool, then you get to go in the deep side. But if you can't swim across the pool, then for the whole semester you have to learn how to swim across the pool. And then, once you graduate and you can go on the big side, take like 6 laps, and then just fuck around for a while. Like we had a diving board and we had people from the diving team and the water polo team in our class, and they would like play games and do cool dives and all that kind of stuff, which was fun.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So how about that's enough about classes. Let's move on to like extracurricular fun stuff. Well, possibly fun. So at Catholic school, how do you do homecoming or dances and stuff like that?
Oh!
Wait, was this like an all-girls school, or was this like intermingled?
No, it was intermingled.
Yeah, okay.
It was both. We still had homecoming. We still had prom. That was, I mean, it's not it wasn't as like extravagant as the stuff that I've ever seen. So, but funny story, my school didn't believe in having a homecoming king and queen until you remember MTV Made? They came to
Yes.
my school.
Wait,
Shut up.
what?
Yeah. So, they came to my school and they made this kid, Brandon Fennessy, over. So he told them during the interview of Made that he wanted to be a ventriloquist.
Huh.
So they decided, hey, let's make him homecoming king. Well, my school didn't believe in homecoming king and queen until that year. So then, like, because it's all set up, everybody. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys, ruined Made for everybody.
Did he have glasses?
Yeah. Are you
Oh my God.
Googling this?
Of course
No,
I'm Googling.
Stop!
It's
I'm
on
in this
YouTube.
episode. I don't want to see.
What?
Here's this episode.
In the episode?
Shut
Yeah,
up.
I'm in
I'm
the
watching this
episode.
later.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Season 9. Holy shit. There were 9 seasons of Made?
There's a lot of Made. Yeah.
Good god.
So.
Oh, I'm so watching this. FYI, it's on YouTube. You just have to Google MTV Made Brandon, and Amanda's gonna be in there.
Oh my God! Now I'm registering.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Later, after lip sync, we're watching some old school MTV, honey.
Oh God. So, but they set it up so like, you know, there's like a villain in every episode, and so they completely turned around like my entire class. Like they made people like really like not evil, but like angry, and like he picked the girl he wanted to be queen beforehand, and that's who they made queen. Yeah, it's very set up, just so everybody.
That's so fucked up. Well, I mean, I figured it was set up, but that's like...
Yeah.
So not much.
But so yeah, there was like my school didn't believe in that stuff until
Until
that one
MTV
year
made them.
of MTV, and then it was like a big deal. But
That's
so
crazy.
other than that, I think most of my like dance, not prom, but aside from that, everything else was in like the gymnasium in my school. So like regular dances and homecoming, and then prom, they rented out a hotel, and we
Nice.
went into the like ballroom of the hotel for both. I went to, what is it? It's junior prom, senior ball, right? Is that it? Or
It
Maybe
depends
at
where
your
you're
school.
at. Yeah.
okay. But so yeah, we did that stuff. But up until that year, no, we didn't believe in kings and queens.
Huh.
We did Kings and Queens, but we did them only for homecoming. We didn't do prom king and queen, which I thought was kind of a jip, because it's always like, you do homecoming king and queen, you do prom king and queen. You see all those, like, you know, teen movies, and they have all the kings and queens and bullshit, and it's always the popular kids. But, like, we didn't
Guys.
have cliques. Oh my god, what?
I have a story. I mean, it wasn't from high school, but it's from college. And there's this really weird, we have a lot of international students, or we had a lot of international students at my university, and they had an international prom, and I got to be prom queen.
Oh, that's cute.
So, like, just a little aside, and it does not belong in this conversation because it's not high school, but
I'll let it slide.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it was kind of like a jip, because our homecoming kings and queens were chosen from the clubs. So each club had to pick 2 nominees. They had to pick a guy and a girl to be nominees. Like we had Mesa, and we had oh god, I don't even know what other clubs.
I think our school did the same thing.
And basketball and freaking football, and like the football and the cheerleaders both got to pick a football player and a cheerleader to like be nominees, and like all this kind of stuff. So every single club would pick, and like the drama club and everything, they would pick 2 people, a guy and a girl, to run, and then they would win and blah blah blah. But then we had we had that dance. We had not a Halloween one. We had Winter Ball, which was a formal. So homecoming wasn't formal at all. It was just kind of like, whatever, go and have fun after the football game. Winter Ball was like formal, semi-formal, and then anyone could run. If you wanted to run, you had to just get a petition signed from a certain amount of people, and you could run. And that was kind of cool. And that was semi-formal. And then we had our senior prom, which, no kings and queens, but it was super formal. And this was all in our like cafeteria auditorium kind of a thing. And then, so the seniors and juniors could go to prom, and if you were invited, if you were an underclassman, if you got invited by one of them, you could go with them, but you couldn't go alone. And then to give one last dance for, like, the end of the year, like, the week before school ended or something, we had MORP, which is backwards prom. So instead of dressing up, you dress in, like, a costume or something, and they always pick a theme. Like, one year was hillbillies, and so everyone kind of just, like, showed up in their normal clothes because, I mean, we live in the boonies. I'm totally kidding. Another year was jungle themed, so I had these tiger ears, and I wore, like, an orange outfit and went as, like, Tigger or a tiger because it was jungled. And then I think another year, I don't know, I don't really think we went to the last few because I got kind of dumb. By the time my boyfriend was out of high school, I was like, all we have to do is go to prom, and then you're done. I'm not going to make you go to MORP because I don't really care. Yeah, we didn't really do, like, Kings and Queens weren't too prevalent. Nobody really cared. And Mesa always won. Mesa always wins.
What's Mesa?
Bullshit. Mesa was a math, engineering, science achievement club or something like that. And it was kind of biased of a club, personally, but whatever.
Interesting.
So they always won. And it was really funny that the cheerleaders and stuff didn't win. But one year we had the ski and board club, and that was full of, like, anyone that you would think would be popular, because we didn't really have, like, okay, those are the two most popular people, or that's the most popular group in school, or whatever. But this was the group that if it was going to be the most popular people, they were in the ski and board club. And they picked a guy and a girl to run during prom, and they actually beat Mesa by, like, 2 votes or something like that. I remember it was this huge thing that everyone was like, holy shit, Mesa got beat. So
That's really weird.
yeah, well, I think everyone made kind of a pact that wasn't in Mesa to just band together and vote for another team or another club, and we all kind of just agreed on this new club, and we just kind of voted for them, and they won, and it's pretty badass.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you about dances in Texas.
Oh, God.
boy.
Square
No.
dances or what?
No, actually very
And
formal.
I was joking about hillbillies at my prom.
So actually no. So I didn't live in. Even though we were out in the middle of nowhere, it wasn't, like, so bad that, you know, hillbilly dance would be the norm. But so let me, like, divvy up the section of dances. First, they were the band parties. So we had freshman initiation, so, you know, welcome the transition from middle school to high school. We kind of scare them at first, like, you kind of, like, threaten them, but not too bad. Like, you dress, like, all the upperclassmen dress in black, and, like, you kind of lead them through this path, and you take them, like, in rows, and they have to be quiet, and it's just kind of this elaborate thing. But at the end, we had a dance, and that was casual. And then at the end of the year, we had our band banquet, so we would all, it was a formal event, and you eat dinner, and they'd present awards, and then you have a big old party. As for our school dances, we had homecoming, and all right, go away, blocking my way.
Damn cat.
Homecoming. So do you guys have mums and garters for homecoming? Like, we had a homecoming king queen, we had a parade, we had
Yeah.
a big
So
thing.
when you're done, I'll tell you about our big homecoming thing, because we actually, homecoming week is huge at my school.
Yeah, homecoming week is a big deal. Like, we had, like, themed days. You have, like, a big event on, like, a voting for homecoming king and queen. I forget how they are nominated. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing where your clubs have to nominate people.
Mm-hmm.
And then on homecoming day, like, for the homecoming game, a guy and a girl, I mean, if a guy wants to, they can give girls garters. No. Mums. Girls get mums, guys get the garters. So mums are usually, like, sometimes you'll see them, if you don't know what they are, like, given to people at, like, baby showers and stuff. Like, they're, like, this flower thing with a bunch of ribbons dragging down. And sometimes the flower will have decorations in it. Like, it's a fake flower. But moms in Texas, like, this is, like, an incredibly southern thing. Like, I didn't know that until I started talking to other people. I was like, what?
I think I've seen this probably on
Yeah.
MTV somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I can probably see it there. There's a
No joke.
BuzzFeed one thing.
They used to have this old MTV show which, like, followed around some, like, football players and their girlfriends and, like, cheerleaders and stuff like that, and they did this. I remember that because they were giving these weird ass things. I'm like, well, that's
Yeah, so
really
it's for homecoming. It's it's a big homecoming thing in Texas.
Yeah.
So the goal is to get, like, the bigger mom you get, like, the better, because you just want to show off. And, like, a lot of people just get, like, a normal mom that's, like, about this big, has, like, you know, ribbons
So
that
it's
are
like
go
a
down, like, this long.
corsage kind of a thing, but weird.
Yeah, but you, like, wear it, like, you can, like, pin it to your shirt or something, or your, the guys, you have one that pins to their arm. And then when you're a senior, you get one that's white and gold, or you're supposed to get one. So sometimes people make them from their friends if they don't have, like, a boyfriend or something. And I also have, well, like, kind of like a pride dumb thing. But every year I always had, like, a really big one that was, like, almost my size. Like, so, like, it's, like, this massive mom, and then, like, the ribbons will, like, go down, like, so far, and it's really cute.
When you're like 50 pounds and like 4 feet high.
I know, seriously.
I'm not that small.
Okay, 4'2".
I had like a foot on that. But yeah, something much bigger. But yeah, so it's kind of a cool thing. Like, it's a neat experience that, like, you drag it around with you all day, and like they jingle, and they have like cool, like, letters, like with your boyfriend's name or whatever. And then I would always make one for my then boyfriends at the time. Like, you make them a little garter, and then you exchange them, and you wear them all day, and it's just like a cool event. And then you have like a massive pep rally that's like special. It's like an hour and a half long or something. And as I was in band, I always had to get out of class early and go. And so I was always like excited because I got to skip class for it, for pep rallies and stuff. And then I just like hung out with my big old mom, like, yeah. But yeah, so that was like during the day. Then you sometimes bring those to the dance. I mean, not to the dance. You bring that to like the game. Then you have a dance, which is the game is on like a Friday. Then the dance is the next on Saturday, I think. Either that or if it's after the game. I don't remember what happens anymore. I'm getting old. And that was also a formal thing. So you went. I went to that, I think, every year. But we also had a winter formal. Didn't care about that. That was the one where people usually like wore a long dress. And then our prom, we only had a senior prom. So you had to be a senior or you had to be invited by an upperclassman or a senior. And our prom, this is very Texas. We had it at a NASCAR stadium. But I mean, like, every other dance we had was like at a nice hotel, some really cool area. And then they had it in the stupid NASCAR stadium. I was like, Texas Motor Speedway. I was like, are you kidding me? It was like the worst possible prom. Like, I had this gorgeous dress. I got my hair done. Like, I used to work at a spa and salon. So my bosses like hooked up me and my twin sister up, and like we got like awesome makeup done. We got our hair done, and we were like, yeah, nails done. This is gonna be awesome. And then we go, and the food is crap, and the music is absolutely awful. Like, all country music. That's it.
Hey, I like country, but I mean the whole thing. Country is understandably
the entire
like
thing. I was like, are you kidding me? It was just so bad, but I was like, whatever. I look cute at least.
They used to play this one frickin' song at every single dance. I don't know why, and fucking anything that is good in this world, they would play the song. Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh my gosh,
like,
yeah.
The techno remix of it or something like that.
I think I've heard that before.
It's a horrendous song. Nobody likes it. It's not good to dance to, but it's fast and annoying. And I think that the teachers would always like request it as the very last song to be played because it took like 20 minutes for the stupid song to be over, and by then everyone was just gone. We're like, F this, we're out of here. This song is so dumb. Nobody wants to hear this stupid, and it's annoying. It made me want to shoot myself.
Oh, yeah, there's a few.
Our homecomings were like, they were big homecomings. It would last the entire week. Like, and we'd prepare the whole month ahead of time because each class, like, we had a battle of the classes, like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Each class got to pick. Every year, homecoming was a theme. So my freshman year, it was musicals was our theme. So I think my class did Grease. Sophomores did The Lion King. Another class did, oh God, I can't even remember the other two. There were two other ones. I don't even.
Phantom of the Opera?
No.
I'm just guessing because it's popular.
Yeah. No, so you spend the whole week, you build a float, you build a backdrop that goes up in the gym, which is this huge, like freaking 50-foot, like giant backdrop that goes behind your class. So when you're during the rallies and you're all standing in your own like benches and stuff like that, you have this huge backdrop that's your whole theme, and it's really, really pretty. And we'd have everyone in town would donate space, like warehouse space, to let us decorate there, and they would have us They would give us the big rig to decorate with the float, and then you'd build in the middle of our campus. We had a kiosk, which is just like this 4 standing poster board where you could like put bulletins and everything, and each class got a side of the poster board. So you had a kiosk, a backdrop, you had a skit you worked on all week, you had the float you were working on, and then in between all of that, like every other day was a different spirit day. So one day was like wear your school colors, and like that's it. You're just doing the school colors and the kiosks come out. And the next day was like wear your school colors, but instead of the kiosks being the main thing, we're doing a pep rally in the tri, which is like our big area where we all get together, like your quad, and we call it a tri. I don't know. And we do like competitions against each other. One year it was like somebody has to put whipped cream on their head, and then you're going to toss and see how many jelly beans you can get to stick. And it was like usually your class president and the vice president that would do it, and we'd have the teachers would get all in, and each class had a teacher that would help them with it and like be their guidance for the year or whatever. And every single thing that we had to do, we would get points for it. So whoever won the pep rally that day would get like 10 points. Whoever won the best kiosk would get 10 points. And at the end of the week, they would tally it all up. And you were all trying to win the Spirit Bell. So they had this stupid gold bell that you tried to win, and your classes would all get out on the football field after the football game was over, and they'd be like, "Well, this class won," and it was always the seniors. And I take pride in the fact that my junior year, so I was the junior and G was the senior, and I loved rubbing it in his face, even though he doesn't really care. I still like rubbing it in his face that the juniors kicked their ass that year, and this is the only senior class in a long while that has never won any of the homecomings. Like, it was fantastic. Yes, we won my junior and my senior year because we were fucking badass. Okay, we were a badass, and we grouped together, and we did such an amazing job our junior year. Like, we deserved it, and then they kind of just gave it to us our senior year because we're seniors and we deserve it. Except for us because
except for G's class.
Yeah, except for G's class. And yeah, we had just a huge week, and the skits were huge, and we had judges, and actually McDonald's, the local McDonald's in town, the guy that owned it, his kid, his kids all went to the high school. Well, during that whole week, if you go to McDonald's and you buy something there, anything there, if it was from the dollar menu and it cost you like $1.07 or whatever after, that was 107 points. You can then donate to a class.
Huh.
So you could say, hey, I just bought $13.50 worth of whatever it is. I want my receipt to go to the junior class or the sophomore class or whatever. And whoever at the very end wins, like McDonald's would give them money or something like that towards their prom, which was really cool. So, and of course, all the juniors and seniors had cars. So every single junior and senior was at McDonald's eating. But my grandma was smart. My grandma decided when my cousin and I were both in high school that instead of just going to McDonald's every day and buying dumb stuff and not wanting to eat it, she would buy each of us a $50 gift card. And then, so for my junior and her freshman year, she bought a $50 gift card, gave me the gift card, and took the receipt and donated towards the juniors. And then she did the same thing with my cousin and gave it to the freshman. And then she had a $50 gift card for the rest of the year to like go out to lunch with. So she went around it. So she wasn't eating garbage all week. She gave it to us to eat for like the rest of the
you guys.
Yeah, smart.
Instead of $50 worth of crap food, why not buy a cheeseburger and a gift card and so.
Yeah, but that would feel terrible eating McDonald's for like an entire week. No.
Yeah. Oh God.
But it was a really fun. The McDonald's was part of it. Like we would all get up really early in the morning. We'd go to the warehouse and we'd work on stuff, and we'd go to school tired and exhausted. And there was like the teachers wouldn't assign stuff that week. It was really bullshit. We would do these cool things where we'd all dress up on the days that we were supposed to dress up, and then the last class of your day, if your teacher was really cool, they let you rush another classroom. Especially if it was a teacher that they like to mess around with. So, like, our next door class, we would get up and, like, 5 minutes before the bell rang, we'd run in and do, like, this class is the best and we're going to kick your ass kind of chant and stuff. And we'd run through their classroom and we'd clap in their faces, and then we'd run out, ha ha, we're so funny. And, like, 2 days later, they'd get us back and do the same thing. Like, it was a week long of just work on the floats and everything in the warehouse, go to school, do the pep rally, do whatever you needed to do, go back to the warehouse, eat McDonald's all night, garbage food, and work until midnight, and then go home sleepy. And it was a huge thing. Homecoming was an amazing part of high school, and if you didn't get in on homecoming, then you're lame. Like, you looked super lame if you showed up to school in normal clothes. You were like, who's this person that's not like joining in homecoming. Like, even the people you wouldn't expect to join into homecoming joined in, you know? So it was really
That
awesome.
sounds like it's like a cool, fun thing for everybody. Ours, I think about a lot of people participated in ours. Like, I remember that our pep rallies, like all of them, were all optional. So it was kind of during your, I don't know if it was, I don't remember exactly what period it was because I never had it off. I guess it was like your homeroom kind of thing. And you could either stay in homeroom or you could go to the pep rally. And I was always in band, so I never had to do that. So I was like, hee hee. So I was going to just go play my instrument and get out of class early. But yeah, Nikki, yours kind of wins.
Right?
Except that your dance was informal. Formal dances are the best because then you get to wear pretty dresses.
that was one of the few informal ones because we had two formals, so we had winter ball and we had prom. So
yeah, but you don't always get to go to prom, right? Like even if you're a freshman.
No, but you get to go to winter ball, which is, I mean, just in case. So
yeah,
like that's everyone's formal. That was the one that all the girls wore the short slutty dresses to.
Oh, that was homecoming.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
prom was the one where we all wore our, like, ball gowns and stuff like that. We went out to dinner, we got fancy, and yeah.
I hop afterwards. No.
I usually had a wrestling tournament the day of winter ball. It pissed me off every single year. I had to go and wrestle in the tournament. I had to rush home, change, curl my hair real quick, do my makeup, get all ready, and then be back in the gym to, like, go to a dance and stuff.
So
I was exhausted.
I always had the same exact problem, except we had a competition right before homecoming usually.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime, like then, and sometimes it was later. But yeah, usually we get there. I would be like, "Are you kidding me? We have a competition again," and then we have to like run home and like try to get changed. It's chaos.
Yeah. Every year the schedule would come out, and I'm like, what day's homecoming? This day, not homecoming, winter ball. This day's winter ball. Aw, shit, we're out of town.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me that day. So it was very few that I made my mom, like, I made her go and bring her own car and pick me up, and I'm like, as soon as I'm done, I'm out of here. I win first place. I'm like, woo, I'm first place. See you later. I'm going to dance all night. But it was only like 1 year, maybe 2 years that happened. So, but, oh God. You can't miss it. You can't miss winter ball. It was like freshman, sophomore year, the only time I get to get all dressed up. I don't get to go to prom. You can't miss winter ball or you're a loser. So, yeah.
Aw, cool. So do we have any other high school topics? I know we're getting kind of close to the end, so I don't know if you want to introduce anything.
We have some, like, we've been embarrassing ourselves with high school stories. People have written in today telling us stuff about their high school, so I was going to read them off.
Now it's time to embarrass them.
And how they felt about high school. So I feel kind of bad about some of these, but I feel the pain because I feel the same stuff happened to me in high school. At MXA Ghost on Twitter says, high school was the worst. I was bullied for 4 years of my life, and I feel the same.
No.
I think we were all bullied. Like, honestly, I mean, I was bullied a lot.
I was just a little bit.
By a really big girl. That's crazy. No, like, literally, she almost, like, came up and punched me in the face, and, like, I was bawling, and some guy had to, like, stand up in between and be like, that's fucked up. You can't just, like, hit somebody. What the hell's wrong with you? So, yeah.
I wasn't really bullied. I kind of, like, slid under the radar. I was one of those kids that was like, oh, Amanda's in this class? Okay.
Oh. There is someone in that seat.
But, like, I didn't talk a whole lot, so I didn't really go out and make enemies, I guess. I had, like, a couple friends, and that was really it. Like, I didn't try, I don't know. It's not like you tried to go get bullied, but you know what I mean? You just kind of slide under the radar. And
I think my freshman year I got bullied, like, just enough to where I was like, okay, I'm going to keep to myself. And then I kept to myself. I found my little group of friends, and, like, that was it, and I never opened my mouth. So as long as I was cool with who I was with, then I was totally fine. And then by the time sophomore year was over, I was like, fuck it. You don't like me? I don't give a shit.
Sorry. I had enemies, but I wasn't bullied in high school. I was bullied when I was younger, but not in high school.
Junior high was horrible, like horrendous. I went home crying a lot in junior high.
Something got so bad that I had to like change middle schools.
Aww,
so
that's horrible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, don't threaten people, guys. It's really shitty. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, and then there's another one, our love of our life, at In Transit 74, Miss Taryn. She said high school was awful. I spent so much energy trying to fit in and was so fake trying to hide the real me from the world. So don't do that. Be you.
You do you. You do you.
Yeah. Like I said, by the end of sophomore year, I was like, fuck you bitches. I'm going to wear whatever the hell I want, and I'm going to look cute, and if you don't like it, I don't give a shit. So, and people, once I was like whoever I wanted to be, I honestly didn't get bullied. Like, I wasn't best friends with the entire world, but like there weren't people that like taunted me all the time. They were just like, oh, okay, she is who she's gonna be. Like, whatever. So,
we have any more?
yes, at this is funny, I love underscores. At in_the_sunlight says, my high school experience, overweight, nerdy, and the only girl who wore lipstick over lip gloss. Not much has changed.
That's really good. Lipstick.
I was the one that like I would put makeup on and lipstick on, and I'd get like right up into school, or I'd wear something that I'm like, this is cool. This is just risky enough to be cool, or something like a pair of high heels, or like a new lip color or something, and then I'd get up to the steps and I'm like, nope. Switch into my flip-flops, take my makeup off, we're done. I'm not going to be that bold today.
I think, no, I never wore lipstick in high school, but every Halloween I did wear my Harry Potter robes. So I wear that, or sometimes when I think I wore my Lolita dress once to high school for Halloween. Like my twin sister would always just like wear some crazy outfit. Yeah, we were weird.
I wish I had as much love for like cosplay as I do now, like in high school, because that would have been fun.
Do we have any more? Because I have a question for you all now.
I mean, we have a few. We have.
Yeah, let's read those. I wanna read those. Let's do that.
Okay, and then keep your question because I want to know what your question is. Okay. At Pixel Brave on Twitter says the rifle team for JROTC, which at the time I took way too seriously. Looking back, I should have found something a little less strict. I don't know. Maybe it helped you out in the end, dude. Like maybe it made you a little more, kept you in line a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Gave you boundaries.
Priorities.
A good friend of mine at Sneaky Moniki on Twitter says, hiding in the theater, terrified of anyone who didn't like musicals.
Aw. I played in the pit for a musical. That was fun. It's probably like one of the best things I did in band. It's cool.
Sometimes I wish I was in like band. I regret like wrestling being the only thing that I did. Like I wish I did swim team, and I wish I went out for cheerleading when I wanted to, because I really wanted to do that. I just didn't.
Aww.
At Loco Lizard Man on Twitter says, the girl I had a crush on since middle school won prom queen my senior year.
Yay!
Aww.
Well, that's nice.
Cute.
Okay, that's it. Those are all our comments. Thank you for your comments. We love to read them. It's fun seeing other people's.
Yeah, thank you for
other people's experiences.
You can tweet us at lipsticknerds on Twitter, or if you want to be anonymous, you can email us at lipsticknerdsmlg@gmail.com. Anyway, ready to go ahead.
So, last question. Were you guys in any clubs? Like, what club? Did you guys do clubs? Is that a thing for you?
I wasn't in a club, but my high school had a really weird club that was set up my freshman year by these boys that I know. It was called the Milk Club. They just they liked milk, so they were like, all these clubs are stupid and I don't like your clubs. I'm gonna make a club because I like milk. And they did something really dumb at the first close. We have a club day. They had a milk chugging challenge, and each of them brought a gallon of milk and tried to chug a gallon of milk.
Oh God! Oh.
They got through like probably a quarter to a half of it and gave up and threw up, and it was.
And then they became the anti-milk club.
And then they
Oh God!
But was I in a club? No, wrestling was the closest thing I ever came to a club.
So I was, of course, in anime club.
Of course, you
love that.
Was there a Pikachu club with one lone member?
No, it wouldn't be alone.
We'll join your Pikachu club.
Hey,
Miranda.
I wouldn't be alone. I'd have like 20 Pikachus with me, so whatever. No, I was in anime club, and of course I was in band. And it's not kind of a club, but I was in yearbook, and I got to be one of the editors for a while. And in band, like it's weird because it's a class, but it's also extracurricular in a way because I did like band council. I got to be vice president my senior year. Then I was also section leader of clarinet my senior year. And then I was band historian since like the end of my freshman year. So I did a lot of stuff for band.
If yearbook counts, then I guess because I did yearbook my junior senior year, and I mean I guess it's kind of extracurricular because I went to I took all the dumb stuff that nobody wanted. Like I went to the soccer games and took pictures, and I obviously took the wrestling pictures because I was already there.
Yeah.
And then I did pictures for nobody wanted to do swimming, which I thought was really weird. And I got some of my best photography done during swimming. Like I have a really good picture of some dude doing butterfly. It was really sweet. And I did something else. I think I took ag photos. I don't know.
Cool.
Oh, I did our best friend pictures, and I did our Halloween pictures for school. So I did some really fun stuff.
Yeah, I remember I took wrestling pictures. I did the wrestling page. So that was cool.
Page.
Yeah.
Good page.
I think I was in yearbook my senior year, but only because we were made to be a part of yearbook.
Aww.
I don't really remember. I think we set up, I set up the art page because I was doing, I did chorus and I did, drama was considered a club, and ceramics, basically any art club I could do. That's what I did. And we set up the art page for our senior yearbook, but I'm pretty sure, as seniors, we all had to be in yearbook club.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Because we had to make our own yearbook, I guess.
We did. We made our own yearbook. We did the whole layout. We had this company that would give us a guideline, kind of. We would pick out everything though, from all the fonts and all the page decorations and all that stuff.
So,
was really cool.
Our yearbook club, we actually designed all the pages. Yeah. We had some things our teacher set up the fonts and kind of style, and he got with the editors to choose the theme for the year. And so my senior year, I got to help choose a theme, and got to design a lot of pages and write a lot of stories and do cool photos and stuff. So it was really cool. But I think the coolest thing about my senior yearbook is that my old teacher was a huge nerd like me, and he hid the Doctor Who TARDIS in our senior. We all got on the football field, and you spill out
your senior photo and
the senior photo. Yeah, he had the TARDIS in that picture. And I was like,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our senior year, we would have the whole class get together and pick out the definition. And I think my senior year, it was a good one. We did a year well defined. That was cool. So throughout the whole yearbook, we got to use definitions of stuff, and it wasn't just wrestling. Here's the definition. It was okay, I'm in wrestling. I know exactly what this cool move is. I'm gonna take a picture of the move, put the definition below it, and show what it is. So each sport or each team and each club got to pick a cool definition from their thing that they like, and we kept it in the book.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice. Yeah, something that if you looked at this and you were well, what's the definition of fucking, I don't know, hammer something for welding and wood shop? I don't know, something tool for that. What's the name for it and what does it look like? And so we put that in there, and that was fun. So, and we got to do what defines your friendship for the best friend page, and what's the definition of your Halloween costume or something. I don't know. It was really fun. But yeah, we got to pick out all the layouts, and we got together to pick specific fonts, and those were just put in, and then you got to design your own page, and that was fun.
Cool.
I have 2 questions before we leave.
Okay.
What was everyone's mascot?
Oh, the Pioneers.
We had the Wildcats.
We were the Cobras.
Everybody's the Wildcats.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Ours is so generic, but I mean, come on, between Pioneers and Cobras, we're
I mean, Cobras obviously win this, but
And then my other question was, what kind of cliques did you guys have, or what would you consider you being in as a clique?
Alternative.
Alternative.
We were the we don't like cliques.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, if I had to say anything, I was in the band kid / AP student thing, which was all the same thing.
You were the
Right.
nerds.
Yeah, I was the smart people.
You were the nerds. I was in the
doing
losers.
too much work.
That don't fit into a clique.
No, mine was just, you're doing too much work. You're in high school. It's okay. No, but it's fine. It got me out of college early, so whatever. Paid off.
No, like my group, we had a group of like, I don't know, 10 to 20 people that would kind of randomly come in and out of where we hung out. And like we hung out on the way far side of the school, around a building, like on this really pretty grass ledge area kind of thing. Because we were just like, it's quiet over here and people aren't retarded and there's a lot of space to just sit and hang out. And that was it. And
Yeah.
popular. Your watch, she was like homecoming queen.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess I would consider us the misfits.
Aww.
They walked around school all angry looking, kicking stuff.
I was a goth in high school.
Oh my god,
Hey,
I need to
guess
proof of
what?
this.
So were
I
you?
was such a. Me too! What do you know?
Oh my god.
At least for
Yeah.
the first 2 years. I was pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be
Yeah.
popular. I wanted to be popular so bad. I wanted to be like on the cheerleading squad, and I wanted to have the football player boyfriend, and yeah, that didn't happen. Well, I mean, my boyfriend was a football player in high school, but you know, he wasn't the quarterback.
Mm.
But you watch all those
Well,
dumb teen movies, and you're like, I want to be Miss Popular. I want to drive the cool car, and I want to, you know, have all the cool things, and that doesn't ever happen.
No, I just dated band kids. I mean, I dated like some of the more well-known band kids, kinda. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah. So.
All right,
Aw,
does that
misfits.
wrap it
Yeah.
up for the night?
Cool though. That's kind of cool though.
Because like we
What
weren't
can I
all,
say?
like, I was a goth and like my other friend was a goth, but like one of my other friends was super preppy and happy all the time, and the other one was like the volleyball player, but we all didn't click with anyone else but each other, so we were the misfits.
Aww,
That's funny.
that's good.
Well, I mean, like, it just goes to show you, like, you might not look just like your friends, and the friends that you have now, you might not be friends with forever, and, you know,
Right.
not everybody that you know now is going to have the same taste that you're going to have later. So, yeah.
That's the moral of the
misfit
story.
and the nerd and
Yeah.
the loser can all hang out together and be awesome.
Aww.
All right, so that about wraps up our show tonight. Thank you for joining us with our awesome high school memories. And if you have any high school memories, we'd still love to hear from you. So you can tweet us at Lipstick Nerds on Twitter. You can email us at lipsticknerdsmlg@gmail.com. You can find Amanda. Where can we find you on the internet? So you can tweet you.
Hold that thought. Elijah just texted me, tweeted me, which by the way, my Twitter name is @WakeUpParamore. It says @WakeUpParamore. Don't worry, my softball team is named Misfits, so we were all players that nobody wanted.
Aww.
That's so
I feel
cute.
like we're full of a lot of aww moments.
But yeah, you can find me pretty much anywhere @WakeUpParamore or just without the @ using it for the Xbox tag.
Somebody tagged you on Twitter the other day, Infinite Amanda's, and I'm like, she's not that anymore. She's Wake Up Paramore. And they're like, oh
Oh,
shit.
it was Brent. Yeah,
It was Brent, yeah.
It's such an old. That was my really old Twitter handle too. So it's very strange
Yeah.
that that's the one he pulled out of his hat.
Well, that's you had that when you and I first met, so that's the one that I still associate with you every once in a while.
Use the one in the screen.
Miranda, where can we find you online?
You can find me at Havoc Rose, and that's Havoc with a K, just about anywhere. If you send me a request on anything, like PSN or something, please let me know where you're coming from. If I just get a random request, I probably won't accept it.
We like to hear
And
things, Beyonds or lipsticks
Yeah.
or nerds or
yeah,
whatever.
just to know where you're coming from. So I just like, oh, who's this random person? I don't know. And I work for IGN, so you can see me running on there. Recently, I did a cool Pikachu video. I got to cuddle with Pikachu. So yeah, I'm obviously very happy about that. So I got to unpackage, which is really unbox, a really cool Pikachu that I ordered from Japan, and he's really cute. Salaryman Pikachu, so check that out sometime. And I also have been working on a secret project that's going live Wednesday morning / tomorrow. So yay! So
All right, and you
that's-
can find me.
about it.
Or, no,
yeah, that's about it.
you can't find me because I'm a loser. You can find me at
Where find you?
Harleypin103 on Twitter, Instagram, PSN. I am on the Ridiculous Rants podcast every week, and that's about it. So if you want to be awesome and join our cool post-high school clique, be sure to follow us on Twitter, because we love you.
Yeah, or if you're still in high school, tell us your cool things.
Pretty much.
That's my really jacked up heart picture.
We love you guys.
Bye.
All right, bye.